Hi, Assalamualaikum. To begin with, the objective of our presentation is to study on how recruitment and selection will give the positive impact towards the effectiveness of organization. Human resource management is the process of managing human talent to achieve an organization's objective. Now, I will share to you guys the two functions in human resource management, which are recruitment and selection. Recruitment and selection plays a very significant role in finding the best fit of employee for the organization. Recruitment and selection process is to determine whether there is any requirement of any applicant in present and future for company. The human resource manager has to fulfill both these needs. Now, what is recruitment? Recruitment is the process of attracting, screening, and selecting potential and qualified candidates based on objective criteria to work in a company. Recruitment strategy includes brand, focus, location, timing, method, and decisions. The decisions a company makes about talent need to be considered within the context of business strategies such as what type of positions are needed, where the talent is needed, and where it can be found, the strength of the firm's employment, how the talent can be attracted, and who will recruit the talent and make the final hiring decision. On the other hand, selection is the process to choose the right individual who is qualified to fill the existing job. The selection process includes submission of resume, completion of application, interviews, reference and background checks, pre-employment test, medical exam, and hiring decision. So, that is an introduction of our topic. Now, Farah will explain more on recruitment.
Next, we move on to methods of recruitment. First is external recruitment. In external recruitment, we have social media. Many companies utilize social media in recruiting new employees by creating, posting, and advertising new jobs. This method is easy because we do not have to fill in the form manually on paper, but instead we can apply the open position through or via company web page. For example, LinkedIn has its own social media to help employees to find the right and suitable job. Next is executive search firm. This method is quite different from the previous method. This is to help employers to find the right person for that particular job and normally do not have any media advertisement. Next is job fair. Job fair is to cast a wide group of people in different regional areas, whether by setting up booths or conducting online virtual fair. This is to help employees to find or to get information on the spot during that event.
Second is internal recruitment. In internal recruitment, we have internal job posting. This method is to advertise job within the company to the existing employees, whether through bulletin or internal company web page. This method is cost-effective and timely because usually smaller companies would apply this method. Companies also would identify talent through performance appraisal. From here, company would use 9-box grid in compiling data assessment and appraisal to see the actual and the expected performance among employees. From here, it is useful because we can track all the past record and also the future record for the employees to fill in the open position. Skill inventory method is also being used in order to locate the capable employees by tracking their past education and also working experience. Not to forget, for placement chart is used for succession planning in order to track or to identify which employees is suitable to be replaced when the current job holder moves on.
Next, Amirul Adli will present to you guys the selection test. When the applicant had applied and any company and the company had chose them for selection process, in selection process, generally after applicant had gone through several process of selection which are completion of resume, interviews and background checks, there will be tests with several tests that company had decided for them. Firstly, job knowledge test. It is a test to measure people understanding or knowledge about a particular job. Next, work sample test, which require applicant to perform sample test of work that is similar to the real job. Then, we're going to the third point, which is cognitive ability test. Cognitive ability test is to measure mental capabilities such as general intelligence, numerical ability, and reasoning ability. The fourth one is personality and inventory's interest. Company use their test to measure applicant motivation to adapt with the rules of the companies. The fifth one is physical ability test. This test is a measure test that require physical ability for a job like firefighters and police officer that need of strength and endurance to the injuries. Besides that, medical examination is required by most companies, but law prohibits applicant to take the test unless they agree to take this job and undergo the test. Applicant can refuse to undergo the examination, but the probability of their chance to be accepted by the company is very low. Lastly, the drug test. Some company urge their applicant to take the test as they may only require employees who are clean and does not take harmful substances that can affect the job. The applicant may reject to do the test if being asked by certain company, but it will affect the chance for getting the job as applicant did not want to do things that company asked. Lastly, not all company apply this test. Maybe a certain company will apply one or two of the tests that I have been mentioned above. So, that's all from me.
Hello, I am Nizami. This part I will discuss about positive impact on recruitment and selection. For the recruitment, the first impact is internal recruitment costs less to hire in terms of monetary and non-monetary. It is because company did not have to wasting their time waiting for someone to fill the available position and no spending needed for the advertisement. Secondly, the external recruitment helps you to access a pool of best talented employees for the job you need to fill. Company will have a big chance to get a recruit that may have more experience or expert than current employees. Next, with recruitment, a company can fill the needs of the organization. With the leftover of a position, it can affect a company workflow and output. If any recruitment made, those available positions will be filled. The last one is recruitment also improve effectiveness company work line. Every person has different abilities and skills. With recruitment, company can variety those skills for the company advantage to compete in marketplace.
Now let's move to the next part. For the first positive impact of selection is to test reliable and validity information provided. A valid and reliable information is important for the first impression towards interviewers whether the candidate is honest or not. Secondly, selection process can be used to test a person's knowledge, skills, abilities and other characteristics. It is important to determine every candidate's level before allowing them to proceed to another step of selection. Next, to help interviewers differentiate between qualified and unqualified applicants. After recruitment, a company will sure receive a lot of applications for the job. Here, company need to remove some of them who did not meet the requirement that has been set up by companies. Finally, selection process can be used to match employees' abilities, cultural values, and interests to your company. Company has their own target on what type people suitable for them and they need the most. So for them who did not meet their desired will be eliminated.
In conclusion, we can see that a good recruitment and selection is necessary for every organization. If the organization choose a right recruitment and selection policy, it means that they have found the right people for the right roles at the right time. It is not just about filling an immediate vacancy, but about having an impact on the long-term success of the business using workforce planning data to understand what skills are needed for the organizational performance. Since employee is one of the most valuable assets, recruitment and selection should be applied effectively in the organization. If the organization finds the wrong match for the position or role, it might incur the additional expenses in the form of severance pay and repeating the hiring process all over again. That's all from our group. Thank you.